Welcome to A Soldier's Note channel. Before continuing to watch this video, don't forget to press the subscribe button, activate notifications, like, and share with your friends. Thank you.
The Army's saw an M4 replacement is headed to troops by 2022. General David Hodney, Infantry School Commandant and Soldier Lethality Cross-Functional Team Director, along with Brigadier General Anthony Potts, Head of Program Executive Office Soldier, gave updates to Army Times ahead of the Association of the U.S. Army Annual Meeting and Exposition. The gun that will replace both the M249 squad automatic weapon and the M16 M4 rifle carbine weapons, and add a new, widely distributed caliber to the U.S. military inventory for the first time in decades, is less than 2 years away. The next generation squad weapon finished its first prototype test event in September. The three previously selected offerings came from Sig Sauer, Textron Systems, and General Dynamics Ordnance. Concurrently, the Army in April has also selected two companies, L3 Technologies and Vortex Optics, to compete for the fire control for the weapons system. Back in April, each of the companies provided 15 rifles, 15 automatic rifles, and 180,000 cartridges using the government-developed 6.8mm projectile. The 6.8mm projectile was chosen after decades of testing and evaluation showed that 5.56mm lethality at mid-ranges on the battlefield was inadequate and the existing 7.62mm could be outperformed by the 6.8mm round and save weight for the soldier. Sig Sauer's design looks much like a conventional assault rifle while GD is using a bullpup design, which shortens the length by building the magazine feed into the weapon stock. Textron has built its weapon around the cartridge, which is unique to them, a cased telescope item that has the projectile inside of the casing to reduce weight. The new caliber also gives the soldier both a rifle and automatic rifle firing the same round, both effective past the 600 meters mark of existing light calibers. Following the September testing, the companies will have 6 months until their next prototype test, scheduled to begin in February. During the annual Maneuver Warfighter Conference at Fort Benning in Georgia, Major Wyatt Ottmar, project officer over NGSW for the Soldier Lethality CFT, laid out some of the recent developments and next steps for the weapon system. Ottmar noted that Sig Sauer provided a combined steel lower and brass upper ammunition cartridge to reduce weight. A contract is expected to be awarded to one of the three companies this coming fiscal year, with fielding to start in the fourth quarter of the fiscal year 2022, or sometime between August and October 2022, to Infantry, Stryker, and Armor Brigade Combat Teams. Ultimately, the weapon will be fielded to all close combat forces, including Special Operations Forces, Infantry, Combat Engineers, and Scouts. The fire control is expected to field 6 months ahead of the weapon, Potts said. That will allow the NGSW producer to better integrate the optic with the weapon. Here are the guns that will battle to be the Army's next squad weapon. In late August, the Pentagon narrowed the competition down to 3 vendors, with privately held Sig Sauer and divisions of Textron, NYSE, TXT, and General Dynamics, NYSE, GD, making the final cut, but little was known about the offerings at that time. The U.S. Army is gearing up to select a new rifle to be carried by most frontline units into battle, moving on from its mainstay M4 carbine after more than 25 years of service. The Next Generation Squad Weapons (NGSW) contract would be a nice payday for the defense company named the eventual winner, with a total value estimated to be more than $1.5 billion. In the weeks since, all the companies have unveiled details about the guns they hope will succeed the M4 and related M249, which have been in service since replacing the Vietnam War-era M16 in 1994. The Pentagon wants the new rifle to engage targets 600 meters away, about double the lethal range of the M4, and to be able to use advanced targeting systems and defeat existing body armor. Here's a look at the guns the three finalists are bringing to the fight. The firearms specialist, Sig Sauer, which won a contract in 2017 to replace the Army's mainstay M9 handgun with a new high-tech system, is touting a design that is lighter than the current generation of weapons, with better ergonomics and less recoil. The core of the submission is newly developed ammunition that should provide increased velocity, distance, and accuracy while being easier for soldiers to carry. Using patent-pending technology, the Sig Sauer ammunition division has engineered a completely new cartridge resulting in a more compact round, with increased velocity and accuracy, while delivering a substantial reduction in the weight of the ammunition, CEO Ron Cohen said in a statement last month announcing the company's participation in the competition. Sig Sauer also notes its entry provides single-source manufacturing of the weapons, ammunition, and accessories, which it says allows for increased capabilities and less risk to the U.S. Army, compared to its competitors' approach of partnering with a number of companies and submitting a bid as a team. A maturing design. Textron's bid is focused on the company's well-regarded case telescoped CT design, in which the projectile is seated within a cylindrical case. The company claims that design allows for substantial weight savings, which in turn drives improved maneuverability and accuracy. The company developed its CT design in part for the Army since cancelled Lightweight Small Arms Technology's machine gun program. Textron's NGSW entry appears to borrow from that design, and update it to handle the requirements of the current competition. Textron has enlisted some allies to help it make its bid. The company is working with German contractor Heckler & Koch for design, research and development, and manufacturing capabilities, and with a unit of Olin for small-caliber ammunition production. We have assembled a team that understands and can deliver on the rigorous requirements for this U.S. Army program with mature and capable technology, reliable program execution, and dedicated user support, Textron Systems Vice President Wayne Prender said in a statement. The deal would be a nice win for Textron, an industrial conglomerate that is increasingly turning to defense as a source of future growth. The bullpup makes its stand. General Dynamics has been the most tight-lipped about its submission, but it provided an unveiling of sorts this week at the Association of the United States Army's annual meeting. At the event, the company provided a promotional video showing its prototype in action. The General Dynamics submission is notable in that it's the only one to replace the traditional M16 layout that the Army has used since the 1960s with a so-called bullpup design, moving the magazine to behind the trigger on the rifle. In theory, that allows for a longer barrel on a compact frame, which should improve the range of the rifle. The configuration is used internationally and has been pitched to the U.S. Army before, but so far without much luck. General Dynamics and manufacturing partner Beretta USA seem to be betting that the government will be open to the concept this time around if they can prove the design offers better performance. Expect a tough fight. The Army has requested that each of the three vendors submit 53 rifles, 43 automatics, and 850,000 rounds of ammunition for testing, which is expected to take about 2.5 years. The goal is to have a finalist selected and fielding to begin by the end of 2022. Not all personnel will get the new weapon, but the Army is expected to eventually field upwards of 250,000 systems to frontline units. The total award value for the winner is likely to be significantly higher over time when ongoing ammunition sales are factored in. In May 2011, General James Amos ordered the replacement of the M249 SAW by the M27 IAR and limited fielding began. Though the 30-round magazine-fed M27 could not provide the sustained suppressive fire that the belt-fed M249 SAW could, the M27's increased accuracy and reliability offset the rate of fire. In early 2017, Commandant of the Marine Corps General Robert Neller announced that he wanted to equip every 0311 Marine rifleman with the M27 IAR. To meet this demand, the Corps issued a request for 11,000 M27 IARs from HK. Chris Woodburn, Deputy of the Maneuver Branch, Fires and Maneuver Integration at Marine Corps Combat Development Command, said, "The new order will replace all M4s in every infantry squad with an M27, except for the squad leader." The change would also include Marine infantry training battalions. The deal was finalized in 2018, with the Marines purchasing just over 14,000 M27 IARs. In 2019, the Marine Corps reported that the last of the M27s would be delivered and issued to every infantryman from platoon commander and below by mid-2021. While the M27 will replace the M4 as the standard issue rifle for the Marine Corps infantry, non-infantry Marines will continue to field the M4 for the foreseeable future. Still, it could be argued that the Marine Corps succeeded in replacing the M4 in a short period of time where the Army failed over a period of decades of programs and competitions. If anything, the NGSW goal of replacing the M4 and M249 with a single weapon system appears to have been lifted from the Marine Corps acquisition and fielding of the M27 IAR. Only time will tell if the Army will succeed in replacing the M4 through the NGSW project, or if it is the latest in a long line of failed attempts.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments. See you in the next video.